Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Thursday, May 12th. So the moon is still in Virgo energy, but we are moving out of Virgo energy and into Libra energy. So we will see a shift. We're moving out of this logical, practical, earthy energy of Virgo that should have helped us sort out some thoughts and feelings, that should have helped us come to some conclusions and solutions about some long-term standing programming in our heads and problems in our physical realm. And now this Libran energy is going to lighten the mood again. We're taking it up into the intellect. We're looking for peace. We're looking for balance. Now we have to do the tango in order to find stability in our heart, in our head, so that we can go ahead and prepare for action. So the moon is going to trine Pluto while still in this Virgo energy. And this is a beautiful aspect, especially feeding off of the way that the day ended yesterday, because the moon in Virgo trining with Pluto means that we have made some serious progress in our mental plane, in our psyche, in our heart space, in recognizing where it is that we got to boss up, where it is that we got to make some changes, where it is that we will never give our power away ever again. The moon does enter into Libran energy around 2:35 a.m. and at 2:56 a.m. we have the moon in Libra making its very first not so nice aspect with Uranus. So the moon in Libra wants everything to be light and fluffy. We want to stick to the shallow end of our thoughts, of our feelings. We want to lighten the mood. Of course, the moon in Virgo, especially over the last couple of days where Mercury went retrograde, where Jupiter moved into Aries, has been a little bit of a time. So yes, we were very focused on the weighted energy of our physical realms, but now we want to lighten the vibe up just a tad. Now, the moon in Libra bumping into Uranus, the great awakener right now, in not the nicest aspect, is really just going to illuminate for us where we have the work, where stability is needed the most, where peace and harmony is needed the most, especially between our heart and our head, and where in our physical realm, especially when it comes to taking care of ourselves, our daily routines, our relationships, our money matters, we really need to focus the energy on compromising, on meeting ourselves and meeting other people in the middle in order to achieve a certain amount of happiness, joy, and pleasure, even in the circumstances that we're not quite comfortable or happy with. The moon is going to oppose Jupiter. Jupiter, as you know, just moved into Aries energy, had a huge aspect with Uranus yesterday. It is going to be a long-term aspect that we will revisit in September and in December. And the moon in Libra opposing, of course, this Aries energy, they sit across from one another in the zodiac wheel, is really going to emphasize for us what it is that we want more of. Jupiter, of course, represents growth and expansion, blessings, opportunities, likes to give us the big picture. And in Aries energy, we are reinventing ourselves. We are initiating new things, beginning new things. We are really kind of going after passion and desires. We are fighting because the Aries energy is ruled over by Mars, the god of war. So this is really bringing our inner warrior out to play. We are not going to let challenges and obstacles keep us from going after what it is that we want. But the problem here is that Jupiter likes to magnify everything that we're thinking and feeling. And because we're really stuck on what it is that we want more of, which is more peace, more love, more stability, more harmony, more fun, more pleasure, more laughter. This is very much the Libran vibes. What tends to happen is that we take things a little bit too far. Jupiter, of course, magnifies everything and tends to be a little bit extra and puts his magnifying glass on all the aspects that we want more of, which in turn can be a deficit because it reminds us of everything that we don't currently have. So instead of kind of leaning into the dreams, the big picture, the vision of all the more that we want for ourselves and what it is that we're passionate about and what it is that we truly desire, many of us can get stuck in the funk of lack of mindset, scarcity mindset, realizing that we want so much more for ourselves that it intensifies and amplifies all that we currently don't have. That can be a problem. We do not want to set up camp there. We do have a tendency, again, to be a little bit overly dramatic, overly focused on whatever situations, thoughts, and feelings are being illuminated under this particular aspect. I do really kind of recommend that you allow yourself to dream, that you get fired up, that you get inspired and motivated and passionate about going after what it is that you want. All of this quote unquote more that you want. I encourage you to lean all the way into being fired up about it. I just hesitate and want to throw caution to you that it's going to be hard to stick in that high vibe when the lack of mentality is so easy to fall into. The last thing that I want you to do is to get sad, get depressed, and recognize all the things that you want more of aren't currently here. The whole lesson, if you will, is for us to find love and peace and joy and pleasure in every single moment, even the moments that don't feel good, even the circumstances that we are hell-bent on changing. There is a certain understanding that we have to come to that there is beauty and happiness and joy and love, even in the darkest places. And it is up to us to do the balancing act that is necessary to constantly be projecting ourselves into a future vision and future dream in order for us to be inspired and motivated to go after what it is that we want, but to not let the present moment be dark, be sad, be depressed. Many people are like, oh, well, I'm not going to be happy until I have that. Well, that is a personal choice, my friend. You need to be happy every single moment of your life. You need to try to be, because there's beauty in everything. And there is light in even the darkest places. So although we may have a construct, a framework on what it is that we want more of, we have to bounce back into the present moment and be grateful for the circumstances, for the experiences that we're currently sitting in, or else we wouldn't even have the dream or the vision to even want more for ourselves. So we have to do the balancing act there. The moon is going to make a very positive aspect with Saturn, the Lord of Karma. This is going to be a key indicator that we are going to take that earlier revelation of what it is that we want to fight for, what it is we want more of, and we're actually going to break down that big dream, that big vision into tangible and manageable pieces. We have control over certain aspects in the here and now that we can change, we can morph, we can transform, that will align and set us up with the great big vision, the great big dream. We don't just snap our fingers and wake up one day and have everything that we dream of having. We have to work for it. And sometimes that means taking one baby step a day, getting us further away from what it is that we no longer desire and getting us one step closer to what it is we actually want to bring to life. The moon trines Mercury. Mercury, as you know, now retrograde in Gemini. Gemini energy always kind of divides things. We have two different choices, two different decisions, two different paths. We have to understand that Libran energy, its whole goal is to find balance. And many times we have to live in extremes before we find that balance. And the moon bumping into Mercury in this way is our heart and our head working together to come to a different narrative, to come to a different perspective. And especially after the earlier aspects that I just mentioned, this is going to be a good setup for us to find peace and balance and happiness and joy in the confusion, in the process that we're currently at, in the transformation that we're currently going through. The moon will bump into the sun in not the nicest way. And this is really going to put us at odds because, again, the moon in Libra wants everything to be light and fluffy, wants to meet in the middle, wants to get everybody on the same page, doesn't like confrontation. And the sun in Taurus is just like, you know what? I don't know how you can be so light and fluffy when we have all this work to do. I don't know how you can, be positive and find joy and happiness in the physical circumstances that we're currently at, because we have a mission here. We need to build new things. We need to create new foundations. We have to reinvent ourselves. We have relationship work to do. We have, goals that we have to work towards. Like, how can you be so light and fluffy about everything? So there is this conflict because, of course, the sun is trying to illuminate what it is we have to do right now. And the moon in Libra is just kind of like, right now, we just have to chill out. And we have to find peace and harmony and joy and pleasure in the little things, even if we're uncomfortable. Now, these two, Libran energy and Taurus energy, they both have Venus as their ruler. So there's a lot of camaraderie there. However, Libran energy likes to keep into the inner realms of the mind and the heart space, while Taurus energy says, screw all that. We live in the physical realm. We have physical bodies. We have physical actions that we need to take. So there is a little bit of an inner conflict that pops off there. Now, to amplify that conflict, we have the moon in Libra making a similar, not so nice aspect with the true node, which is our destiny point. The true node wants us to get on the right path. It wants us to be on the path that will lead us to our soul's mission, our soul's purpose. But like I said, the moon in Libra right now wants to keep things light and fluffy, wants to stick into the realm of compromise and cooperation, and we're just not about it. We're in Taurus season. Taurus season is a fixed sign. We're not looking to compromise. We're not looking to cooperate. We are looking to take action and do what is necessary in order to build and create and give birth to the right kinds of foundations that are going to support us in the long term. So now, bumping into the true node, we're like, I don't know. The plans that I had for myself, I'm going to have to think about that. Maybe I'm going to have to compromise on that. Maybe I dreamed too big of a dream. Maybe I'm not able to actually bring to life that big chunk of that mission, that goal, that dream. This is essentially when we start talking fear into the clarity, into the dream that we were currently running with, because the moon in Libra starts kind of questioning everything, again, living in extremes in order to find that balance. We get a little bit of help, though, because the moon goes ahead and bumps into Uranus in a very positive way. Uranian energy shocks us. It awakens us to a new thought, a new perspective, a new understanding. It opens us up to want to make changes a little bit faster than what it is that our, egoic avatar would prefer that we make. And this particular aspect is a very positive aspect in the way that, yes, the moon in Libra wants balance, wants peace, wants harmony, wants love, wants, enjoyment in the here and now. But this Uranian energy shifts our perspective on what it is that we actually have to do to get that. We might be unrealistic trying to search for love and peace and harmony and balance in our current situation, because a lot of our situations right now are unbalanced. That's why we have the want, need, and desire to change and transform. The moon bumping into Uranian energy in this way is definitely going to show us where it is that we need to do a little bit more defining on what it is that we need emotionally. The moon in Libra would prefer for us to team up in a relationship, in a partnership, to lean on other people. The Uranian energy says, screw all that. You don't need anybody else. You're independent. You're a rebel. You're free, bust free of needing to lean on other people to do what is right for you. And so even though this is a harmonious aspect, it does illuminate for us where it is that we do have to compromise between putting ourselves first, doing what is right for us, gaining independence, gaining freedom, kind of, dancing to the beat of our own drum, and recognizing that our actions, our wants, needs, and desires do essentially have an impact on the people around us, and where it is that we have to kind of strike a balance in our emotions and our mental plane, in the actions that we're taking, in order to consider both sides. The moon is going to bump into Saturn in not the nicest way. And this particular aspect is really going to put us kind of at odds with, again, the factor of what it is that we want to do for ourselves versus what it is that we think we should be doing for other people. The Saturn energy is the Lord of Karma. We do have new soul contracts that are being, introduced to us right now, new roles, new responsibilities that we have to step into. Saturn is in Aquarian energy that, although gives us a vision and a dream of what it is that we would like to manifest for ourselves, is very focused on other people. That Aquarian energy is about the collective, the roles and responsibilities that we have to other people. The Moon in Libra is very focused on partnership. And right now, because of the retrograde that we're going through, because of the eclipse energy that we're going through, relationships are taking a hit. And that is just because there is one party growing and the other party is not growing with the party who is doing the mission, doing the work to heal. So now we're kind of at odds with the roles and responsibilities that we've locked into in our partnerships and how that actually makes us feel. Because again, Venus, who rules over this Libran energy, is in Aries, only concerned about herself. Finally, putting herself at the top of the list. Finally, putting her own wants, needs, and desires before everybody else's. And this Moon in Libra is like, oh, but we're not used to that. We're used to people pleasing. We're used to putting everything that we want, need, and desire on the back burner to make other people happy. We have to put a smile on. We can't let people know that we actually have guilt and resent towards, these other people because we're not able to do what we want. It's a very conflicting energy. And because Saturn, the Lord of Karma, tends to bring negative Nancy out to play and Debbie the Downer, we tend to lock into a narrative that is a lower vibrational frequency, trying to guilt trip us back into sacrificing our own wants, needs, and desires, our own dreams, our own goals, our own vision to put other people first. So it's almost essentially like, the dark force agenda is trying to pull us back into the darkness of trying to, do what is right for us and enlighten ourselves and do better for ourselves. And that is a tough energy. And right before the day ends, we have the moon opposing Venus. Yes, my friends, this is the moon in Libra going head to head with her rulership. Like I talked about, Venus is in Aries. She's very concentrated on being aggressive to go after what it is that she wants, needs, and desires. She's tired of putting everybody else before herself. She's finally stepping into her power, taking the control back to do what is right for her, to gain her independence, to rebuild herself, to reinvent herself. She's building upon the relationship with herself first and foremost. And the moon in Libra over here is trying to remind her why she can't do it by herself, why she needs other people, why she needs to balance and compromise, stop being so aggressive, soften the edges a little bit, And this is very much a push and pull between our emotions because we've leveled up our self-confidence. We've leveled up our self-esteem because Venus is in Aries pushing us to do so. But yet the moon in Libra is over here trying to soften the blow, soften the edges, because we just want peace. We just want harmony. Sometimes pushing yourself, your own agenda will make other people sad. Well, guess what? So let it be. Many of us have not even had ourselves on the top 5 of our priority list for far too long. We're finally in a situation right now where we're at the top of the list, and it might feel uncomfortable to be there because, of course, we've never been there before. But now is not the time to let other people's opinions, other people's wants, needs, and desires to trump what you're doing for yourself. We have Jupiter now in Aries. We have Venus in Aries. Reinventing, rebranding our egoic identity, what we want for ourselves, new passions, new desires, new initiation, new beginnings. Now is not the time to let other people's thoughts, ideas, feelings, opinions slow you down from putting yourself first.